Hello, Adriana Balaguera. How are you? This is your class observation feedback video. And based on the class observation we had in the third stage of this project, I'm going to start giving you the feedback, right? So first, I would like to start by telling you the focus areas that you chose at the beginning of this project, which were patterns of interactions and teaching methodology. So based on these two focus areas, I will start giving you the feedback, right? Let's start first with the focus area number 1, which is patterns of interaction. So it was a good idea to start a class with competitions among groups. That idea allowed students to interact and use English as well as grammar structures of the simple present inductively. Students show high participation and motivation through the activities you designed. I like the way you created motivation and patterns of interaction with your students. Also, something that caught my attention was the way you introduced the grammar and the content without explaining grammar structures. The focus areas you chose in the first observation were very evident and structured during the second one. The second observation, I mean. In order to avoid some discipline issues, have you considered setting some rewards if students behave better? An example of those rewards could be to accumulate points that they can use in the future. For example, those scores or points could be an opportunity for the students to skip a class, to skip a quiz, or maybe you can also try to give them a 5, or you could find other examples of rewards for them, because sometimes the behavior issues are like a big deal or a big problem in the classes. I think if discipline is controlled with those strategies that I mentioned, the learning impact will increase. Additionally, have you considered avoiding the use of Spanish and to incorporate compensation strategies such as mimics, body language, gestures, etc.? Now, based on the second focus area that was teaching methodology, something that I liked related to the teaching methodology was the way you designed the listening tasks. Those tasks were simple, easy to understand, and aligned with the teaching objectives and with the inductive grammar approach. Something I found very interesting was the way the listening activity helped with the behavior issues of the class. Students were so focused on listening and taking notes. It would have been a good idea to send the video as a homework and foster students to finish that activity at home, because time was not enough to finish the class you designed. And one more driving question about recommendations that I give you would be, have you thought about creating a Linktree account where you can upload all the materials of the class? It would be a good idea to explore this source as well as the flipped classroom approach to impact more students' learning processes. Based on this, as an action plan for next year, I recommend you to focus your attention on a student's interaction focus area. Something that I recommend you to include in your lesson plans is the promotion of interactions when designing and implementing your lesson plans and your classes. One way of doing this is by developing a more student-centered approach. Make that your students be the stars of the class and reduce the teacher talking time approach. Thank you very much for your time. Have a nice day.